The semi-final stage of the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup is upon us. 4 teams remain, fighting it out for cricket immortality. Sportic will be your primary source of information in preparation for the upcoming fixtures. But before this preview commences, the team at Sportic would appreciate it if you subscribe, as only 0.4% of viewers are subscribed to the one-stop shop for all sport interviews and analysis. Where better off to start than the host nation, India? Spearheaded by their captain Rohit Sharma, top run scorer Virat Kohli, and phenomenal bowling from Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami and co., the men in blue are still considerable favorites to win their 3rd World Cup, following on from being unbeaten in the group stage. Having done away with primary rival Pakistan, India will now set their sights on killing off the hopes of other nations. India have dominated pool play and have never truly looked under real pressure. However, the Indians have struggled in recent times to finish off the job, as proven by the 3 most recent international tournament results. Those include the surprise losses to New Zealand at the semi-final stage of the 2019 World Cup and at the inaugural 2021 World Test Championship final, as well as another loss to Australia in the same tournament final this year. So the question must be asked as to whether it will be a hat trick of wins for the Black Caps, who will verse India in the semi-final stage in Mumbai. If that is to be the case, the Indian cricket team would miss out on potential Bollywood cameo offers and be forced to go into hiding. In addition, any calls for Virat Kohli being India's greatest ever batsman will come crashing down. New Zealand, on the other hand, will have great belief in beating India and potentially winning their first ever World Cup. The return of Kane Williamson, in addition to the experience of Trent Boult and batting excellence of Rachin Ravindra, will prove to be a tough out in the knockout stage. New Zealand made India fight the hardest out of any nation in the group stage, primarily due to Daryl Mitchell's heroics. However, even if they are to beat India, we all know that New Zealand cricket is cursed. Teams have been scoring in bunches, especially in first innings, but have also been collapsing at the Wankhede Stadium, and has therefore proven to be playing as a pitch where teams need to make the most of any momentum they can manufacture. Only India have played at the Wankhede Stadium at this World Cup, where Mohammad Shami ripped through Sri Lanka's batting order with 5 wickets for 18 runs. Shubman Gill led the way for India as they totaled up to 357 runs. If India wins, their batting will likely rely on a strong opening partnership between Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, followed by a typical Kohli flop on the big stage, before being saved by Jadeja's magnificence. On the bowling side, India can rely on Shami, Bumrah, and Jadeja to rip through New Zealand's top order. If New Zealand wins, they are going to need Daryl Mitchell to score 200 runs, alongside Kane Williamson and Rachin Ravindra centuries. The latter will result in calls for Ravindra to take up Indian citizenship. Sportic's prediction for the first semi-final is an Indian homicide of New Zealand, Jadeja for man of the match honors. The Australians have bounced back strongly from poor performances against India and South Africa at the start of the group stage. Led by handicapped seniors like David Warner and Glenn Maxwell, Australia are showing why they are the record title holders of the Cricket World Cup. Well-balanced throughout, Australia have played around with their starting 11 amidst several injuries, vertigo, and personal circumstances, showcasing their depth in all aspects of the game. Australia oozes class across the team, with every player bringing formidable class to the table. However, Australia might be a victim of their own success, as they may have too many players to choose from. One of Mitchell Marsh, Marcus Stoinis, or Marnus Labuschagne must be dropped to make way for Glenn Maxwell, following being rested after the greatest ever one-day batting innings. Australian bowlers at times can be a bit too predictable and lack variety. Australia's 3-headed fast bowling attack of Stark, Cummins, and Hazelwood are vulnerable to big hitting. As a spinner, Adam Zampa serves well, but has been seen as a bowler batters can attack in the past. Nonetheless, Australia's fast bowling will always pose as a danger, as they have consistently ripped through top orders. Perhaps inspired by the Springboks, the Proteas have been somewhat of a dark horse throughout the tournament, with only 2 losses, one of which was against the Netherlands. The South Africans present a menacing bowling lineup through the 6'10" all-rounder demigod Marco Jansen, experienced and insanely fast bowler Kagiso Rabada, and the newcomer Gerald Coetzee. A last-minute replacement for the injured Anrich Nortje, Coetzee has become the most successful South African bowler at a single World Cup with 18 wickets. If Anrich Nortje were fit, Gerald Coetzee would have watched the World Cup with his 2 pet dogs in his hometown, Bloemfontein. He has been able to induce terror into his opponents, even extracting off dead pitches. South Africa's batting has also proved to be solid, but questions continue to be asked as to who can support their top-run scorer, Quinton de Kock, who has been putting on dominant batting displays. It must be noted that when South Africa recently beat Australia 3-2 in a 5-match ODI series in preparation to the World Cup, batters such as Aiden Markram stood up in the South African top order. This a requirement for any hope of Protea's success. However, even if they are to beat Australia, we all know that South African cricket is cursed. The Eden Gardens in Kolkata will be the scene for the second semi-final between Australia and South Africa. The Eden Gardens has a reputation for providing pitches that are generally batting-friendly. However, one could only go as far as to say that batting performances have at best been par on the Eden Garden wicket so far. The Eden Gardens pitch had proved difficult to bat on for South Africa, getting all out for 84 against India. Australia did not play at the Eden Gardens in the group stage. If Australia are to win, they will need to rely on their depth and hope that numerous solid batting, bowling, and fielding performances will lead to overall team success. Australia will look to attack South Africa's potent attack from the outset, as they know that they possess plenty of quality and depth in the pavilion, who at worst will at least start unleashing in the back end of the innings. Australia's bowling will need to be more efficient if they are unable to knock over South Africa's top order, as they were unable to do both things in the group stage encounter. If South Africa are to win, Quinton de Kock will need to score a double century and deliver sledges to David Warner in relation to his significant other's personal history, and hope for Australia to sandpaper the ball in frustration. But in all seriousness, South Africa's hopes hinge on the productiveness of their bowling led by Kagiso Rabada, Marco Jansen, Gerald Coetzee, and the experienced Keshav Maharaj. Jansen was dealt a confidence blow by the Indians in what was his final group stage game, getting hit all around the park. He will need to bounce back, and much of the Proteas' danger relies on a strong performance from Jansen and Coetzee. Sportic's prediction for the first semi-final is a South African capitulation. Australia to meet India in the 2023 Cricket World Cup final. Travis head for man of the match honors. So that is it for Sportic's preview of the 2023 Cricket World Cup semi-final stage. We hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe, like, and comment who you believe will prevail in each of the semi-finals. Turn notifications on for more cricket-related content from the team at Sportic.